One and all, Shadow Temple of the Zeldathon and AF Crew teams back here with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Case 5 in the very first game of the series, Rise from the Ashes. Hope you're all doing well here tonight. Yep, I proved you wrong, didn't I? I did it. I actually showed up on time for once because I needed to do it because I need to get this game done. And I need to make sure that I actually get real stuff in at this point. So we're going to need to make sure we do that. Anyway, welcome, friends. Yeah, this is like, night 3 or 4 on this particular case. It's been keeping us busy, to say the least, and we're doing our best to try to get through it. We have been hired by a girl named Emma Skye, who is trying to get her sister, Lana, off of murder charges for killing and stuffing a detective into the back of Edgeworth's car. So far, we've learned that there's more than necessarily appears so far in this here case, in that, while it sounds like there was a witness who maybe witnessed this woman stab the guy, this is getting a little bit more complicated, it feels like is what's going on here. So tonight, we're ready to head on in and see exactly what is up. Let's get started, shall we? Just give me a second here to actually start the game. There we go. Now we're ready to go. Hello, RC Cola and Unity Star. Thank you much, Unity Star, for the gift for the 20 months. Was it? I think I saw it earlier. I'll run it again in a second here. Hello, Akari does art. Have yourself a good night, Afro. Hello, Goku, and yes, make sure you get in your sleep, of course. Hello, Pro Spring Trap. You gotta go soon? Sure, yeah. We gave you what, till like 9:30, 10:30 last time. So you do you. Hello, Golden Tiger Fox and Momo and Moon. And let's see here. Hop, hello. Yes, to answer your question, where will flu next? The best way to get tips to fall asleep. Turn off all devices, or at least put them on sleep mode. Don't touch them. Don't turn them on. Don't have things that generate light directly into your eyeballs. Is generally a bad idea. Remove any sources of light from the room. Add some sort of white noise, like a fan, or the sound of the ocean, or your favorite lo-fi beats for like 4 hours. And then just close your eyes. Don't try to do other things. Just lay there. I know it's going to be frustrating because you'll be there like 15, 20, 30 minutes and nothing will happen, but eventually your brain will get so bored that it will fall asleep. It's typically how it works. Unless you have like actual medical issues, in which case you should see a doctor. But yeah, that's what it is. But step 1 is not listening to me. I mean, some people can fall asleep to me. A lot of people fall asleep to me, but that's beside the point. If you're having trouble falling asleep to me, turn me off. If you need to sleep, if you want to stay awake, keep watching, please. Bento needs food. But yeah, no, hi guys. Hope you're doing good. God, I need to shave. Ugh, gross. But yeah, hello. Let's just get into it. I don't know why I'm wasting time. I really should just be getting going. Hello, Marie Plays and Dwayne and everybody else coming in here. Let me get rolling. If people say hi, I will say hi back. Here we go. So we were just we're trying to investigate this case. Let me dig into a little bit what's going on. So we are an ace attorney. Our name is Phoenix Wright. We are a defense attorney trying to defend Lana Skye from murder charge against this man, Bruce Goodman, who seems to have been doing something interesting, to say the least. No, I'm not. I'm gonna stay clean shaven, especially for the wedding this weekend. I'm gonna just shave, make sure I'm nice and clean for that. This man was found dead in the parking lot of the prosecutor's office in the back of Miles Edgeworth's car. This woman here claims that she saw our defendant stab the man before he dropped into the car. But we're starting to believe that perhaps he didn't die there, but maybe his body was transported there after being killed somewhere else. And so tonight we're going to continue to figure out what's going on about that, including about the fact that this man was seen in the evidence room at the police station grabbing some bit of evidence before leaving. Evidence of which that he was on a case for about 2 years ago that never truly got solved. A fact that this guy, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr were both detectives on that same case with him, and both lost their jobs as a result of that case. They're trying to look into it more, and now it seems they've brought us into the fold to help try to figure out what happened 2 years ago and what happened today. In addition to those characters, we have Emma Skye, who initially convinced Phoenix to work on this case. She's the younger sister of Lana. We have Gumshoe. He's not important. He's just not. I think he's just here mostly for fan service. I don't think he actually needs to be in this case at all. Damon Gant is the district chief of police, and it kind of feels like he's got his thumbs in a couple of different spots that we don't necessarily expect, but we got to figure out what's going on with him. Haven't gotten there yet. We'll figure him out later. We also found that Mike Meekins is also being accused of killing Detective Goodman, but here in the evidence room we're about to go into instead of where we found his body. And so tonight we are going to try to figure out whether or not he did stab the man. We don't think so, though. This man is... He's a pretty silly little guy. He's not a killer, guys. He's not a killer. Hydration's important. Thank you, Real Phoenix Bloom. Just reading back up here. I've been here a while. Hello, Faye DJ. It's usually like 2 a.m. when you start, but you can't sleep, so you're here. Well, friends, make sure you do try to get yourself some sleep at some point, but thank you for stopping by. What time is it for me? It is 8:14 p.m. U.S. Central Time. I usually stream from 8 to 11 Central or 9 to midnight Eastern. Back when I was on Eastern Time, that made for, a late night each night, but that's just how I lived my life. Nowadays, I do get to go to bed before midnight most nights, which is kind of nice. Assuming I don't have anything else to do, which I do have something to do tonight, but that's easy. I just got a little bit that I gotta do. How's my day been? It's been going okay. It goes till 11-ish. It should go a little bit after 11 tonight, because again, I'm trying to make some real strong forward progress in the game tonight, which I'm presently ignoring, because I want to try to blast through it as best I can. Because as a little bit of heads up, friends, for the schedule for the rest of this week, I'm streaming tonight. I'm streaming tomorrow night. I'm not streaming Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I will return Sunday, and Sunday is the day that if we're going to finish this case, we have to finish this case. So, tonight and Sunday are the only 2 nights I get to play this. Tomorrow, I'm playing more Oracle of Seasons to raise money for Zeldathon. If it feels like maybe we're hitting a point where I can't do that in time, maybe I'll skip the Zelda stream entirely and just do more of this. But I think if we go hard tonight, I think we could set it up in like a 3-4 hour stream on Sunday. So that's what I'm thinking. That's my plan. Let's get started. Do we have anything else we need to talk to Marshall about? Nope. I think we're just heading right on into the evidence room for the first time. 5 more minutes. There you go. February 23rd, evidence room, Sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. By the way, did you notice that Gumshoe's tools that he gave us in the case 4 are in here right now, including his fishing rod and the metal detector? That's kind of funny. I like that. That's neat. There's also an item in here that technically I think doesn't come up until the second game, but I appreciate that it's here. Posture check before we get started. Certainly. Hold on, let me does anybody, I don't know if it's showing up on your guys' end. Do you ever see my webcam like skip every so often? I don't know if I need to like refresh my camera at some point, because it feels like it could just be a little blip on OBS and I'm not seeing it in real life. It is catching for sometimes. Okay. I got to get a new camera at some point. It's getting old. Stretch before I even get started. Sure. Feels good. And captions. You're right. You're absolutely right. Let me throw that on. How old is this camera? I've had this camera since 2008. 18, I think. So I've had the same Logitech webcam for 6 years, and I have not treated it that nicely. So I could see a world where it is starting to wear out on me just a little bit. I need money to upgrade my stuff. All my money currently is going to a lot of other projects in my personal life and not necessarily out there for stream upgrades and things like that. Like trying to raise enough money for a new water heater and a kitchen that allows space enough for a dishwasher. Please. Please. Oh God, please. Anyway, it's quiet. The investigation must be over here. How's your money going to charities? That's the other thing. I'm spending probably... It's kind of wild, but, to do Zeldathon, it typically costs me about $2,000. No. Yeah, it's about right. $2,000 to $2,500, depending on how many meals and things. And that's not including... That's not including my actual donations at Zeldathon. So it's we certainly don't get paid to do Zeldathon. So, and in fact, we have to pay to get into Zeldathon. So an additional $100 there brings us up to I'd say about like $2,200 when it's all said and done at the end of Zeldathon. So it's one of those things where it costs money to even donate in its own way. But I like it. It's important. We raise enough money that it is worth it, and we get to hang out with friends. So it's all in all, it's pretty good.
So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard.
Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. I mean, it kind of does. I mean, look at the lockers.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
What? Ah! Ah! Whoa! Did you just slap poor Gumshoe?
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So, go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So Chief of Police can't. Will loan anyone $50? Even me? I was ready for that. I was 100% ready for that. He did not care about us getting in here. He cared about whether or not Gant was willing to give him $50.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today?
Boss for a day?
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you want to have this. Evidence room floor plans added to the court record. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Let's chat. Go get your $50. Given the opportunity, we'd like to revisit. I mean, yeah, you've given the opportunity, but that's number one, the biggest question. I have no idea if Minor Demons will ever return. It's probably more of whether or not My Street succeeds well enough in its redo that they'd ever bring it back. All right, see, Goku. So, can I have $50? Boss for a day.
So, Detective Gumshoe, you're the boss for the day?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm gonna take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course. I am a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
Interesting. I always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about that case. Please and thank you. Evidence lockers. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker's fixed so only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Let me tell you. Why, I'm on my third card since enter- Did I call it or did I call it? Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Where'd it go?
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coated with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor. If the wrong person touches it,
Zap! You get a shock!
that's what happened. My hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force don't know about the fingerprint locks. Evidence locker added to the court record. That sounds like something pretty useful to know. Okay, let's dig into SL9. We want to know more about the SL9 case. The case that happened 2 years ago. Detective Goodwin's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there's some loose ends left on that case. Oh, okay. Anything else we want to talk to Gumshoe about? Sure. Maybe Goodwin's lost item report? Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Nothing. That's fine. You bet it's fine, pal. What? Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. Whoa! Hey, MJ Evans, you haven't missed much. We got in the evidence room. We started talking to Gumshoe. Gumshoe told us about the evidence lockers in here. Every detective's got an evidence locker, and it's thumbprint based. So you can't open a locker that's not yours without, I guess, stealing someone's hand. That's it. You were caught up. I wasted a lot of time starting up tonight. Despite starting more or less on time, I wasted a lot of time actually getting going. Whoa!
Well, what is it?
That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
ID card record updated in the court record. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? I'm glad I just stumbled upon that, man. You handed me this. Okay, fine. Wow. This man gave us a map of the evidence room, being like, you'll get lost in here if you're not careful. Yeah, let me give you some. I'm so glad that I have this map now. Now I'll never get lost ever. Not even once. I don't really understand. Anyway. Let's talk to him. I want to know about the SL line incident. Now that was a bloody, violent case. Violent? So it was a murder. A serial killing. A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. Excuse me. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. Rumors? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So, that switchblade knife.
The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Weird. Yeah, out of his own evidence locker, I think this is what that means. The reason why when outbound prize stage figures as appears multiple. I think she seems interested in having Rise in more videos. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to read into it. Because you have to understand, we do these videos all the time. The cast does not have like we are told who's in those videos. We are not told why people are in those videos, if that makes sense. It is not our job. We're further down the line in terms of the hierarchy. So he started showing up in videos, and I think the videos that he's shown up in have been regarded positively. So he will continue to show up in videos. We are at the whims in the wiles of the algorithm, and we must play accordingly. Anyway, anything else you want to talk to about him? That's the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything's cards and secret numbers. I can never relax. It's only because you always lose your card. I always forget my secret number, too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to? Well, be careful what you ask for. I think we are reverting to that. I don't know if people have been seeing, if you've been to an airport recently, but the last couple airports I've been going to, they straight up just take a picture of your face. And it's like, yep, that's your identification. Detective Gumshoe, rebel against the system. Your job like you're a cashier, front of the store, but below management. Well, it's also like, I don't know why I always think to like Iron Man, but I just is the first thing I think about. Like, yeah, when an actor is given, what they're going to be doing, like their job is to perform, not necessarily to question, right? If they think they could do better or have something more fun, then sure. But ultimately, we're just doing what we're doing, and we also want more work. So a part of that is not frequently questioning and trying to fight against the forces that continue to give them work. I like money, guys. Did you know that? Did you know I'm a big fan of cash and getting paid and keeping the lights on? Still in this case, Leolite, this is the longest case in the whole series. Absolutely. This is my crowning achievement, my masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal.
Art?
He was dancing proudly on the day of the awards ceremony. But there were a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony, so they took the Blue Badger away for a while.
But really? Why?
Oh, they said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toiled night and day. I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it. I don't really know if there's anything else we need to talk to him about. Yep, he knows nothing. Yep, I get it. That's the photo Miss Star took. Anything you can tell us about it? Miss Star is quite the lady. Why, I remember I remember it was winter. I was 16. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened.
16? That's how old I am now. Wonder what happened.
Wonder if Detective Gumshoe wore a trench coat in high school, too. What? Hold on! I feel like we got almost a little bit of a point on that for a second, and then we had ourselves an interesting thing going in there about Gumshoe, and then it immediately disappeared. Go on! I just want to talk about the shoe. Luminol? No, doesn't care about Luminol. How many days in game does this case take place? 3. No case can take longer than 3 days per the court system. How about the evidence locker? Let's talk more about that. You can't open the lockers if your fingerprint doesn't match. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. Wow!
Note, the police department lacks faith in its lock system.
Yeah, that's true. The bounty of 50 cents is not exactly inspiring. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Yep. Anyway, can we examine a little bit? Do a little wander around, maybe? Like, what's sticking out of this one? There's something sticking out of here.
Looks like a shirt. It must be evidence for some case.
Wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too.
Bet he doesn't tuck it in, I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under the trench coat either. If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Half a cent was a thing. The hay penny? Yeah, it wasn't used a ton though. And now obviously it would be less than worthless to have one. Certainly. All right. That's actually an interesting thing. When we were in Japan, I did get like a 1 yen coin. They feel fake. The 1 yen, like our pennies, they're really genuinely made out of metal, right? I got a penny right here, and you've got some heft to it. You could really fling this thing and nail somebody with it. But the 1 yen coin in Japan, they recognize how worthless it is, and it kind of feels like it's made out of aluminum. It's pretty wild. The negative $2 bill in Gravity Falls. That light, yeah, it's that light in for them one yen coins, because nobody uses them, right? There's no point to using 1 yen coins anymore.
This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams.
I'm not so sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would? Hey, pal, our security is high-tech around here. We already know.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
Yeah. Hello, Sticks, how you doing? Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Nah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal. That's a metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right. Yeah, wow, that feels like it was ages ago. In game, I think it was like 2-3 months. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box? Hey, you can't judge a person on a machine by the cover. You just gotta look at their hide. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's used in the second game. But they just stuck it in here because this case was made after I think the original trilogy was made. So, there you go. All right, let's slide on over. Well, that seems pretty significant that there is just a bloody handprint here. What's this? Blood! Hey, Aurora, how you doing?
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
Looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
We should use her testing fluid to check it out. Yes, we should, but I want to look at other things first.
Someone left a glove here, but it's only one.
Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incident, extremely thin rubber glove. So weird they're so specific about it.
Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. It's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Yeah. Wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke.
You want to try to put it back together?
Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue.
Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. I know, we're just picking on the poor detective today. Poor guy. Well, let's see here. We're trying to find the piece that first fits this little chunk here. So let's look through. That looks jaggedy enough. Let's try that. Chunk! Piece 1 complete. This really was, yeah, absolutely was a DS, like a DS Tech demo, totally. I think the first piece will fit best. No, just kidding. I thought that was a little less jaggedy on one side, but it is not. Hello, Sulfur Pulters. How you doing? Well, we can try it. Nope. Just kidding, it's wrong. Yeah, okay. My instinct was correct. Clunk. I can only rotate it via the keys, which is really interesting to me. These are all the pieces here. It's not that one. It's certainly not this one. I know I'm not. Clearly, these pieces don't. There we go. That was weird. All right. Hello, Madison is Maddie. How you doing? That should fit right there. Bam. Only one of them had a big red stain that matched everything else. Nope, no, hold on. Flip it around first. No, still not? Okay. No, flip it around. Sorry, I keep forgetting which button's which. Not yet. This one, though. Yep. Blip. We need a topper piece. No. No. Yes. Blam. 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 And last but not least, blam. Oh no, there's still a piece missing though. Pretty significant one of that.
Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understood how it got broken.
A jar pieced back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Wow, did we have a fun time with that or what? Gee Willikers, did I enjoy myself assembling a jar. You put these pieces together, it makes a jar.
There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke.
I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Does this prove just how incompetent the police and detectives are in this game? I don't think the police are generally completely incompetent in this game. I mean, Gumshoe is definitely not the brightest man on the block, but you know, Marshall and Angel Star seem to be pretty bright individuals.
What is this saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here? In the evidence room? So that's where he built it, huh? Oh yeah, of course, Aurora. I'm glad you enjoyed those. Absolutely. Yeah, we're currently playing through the original trilogy again because we're preparing for the official translations of the Edgeworth games coming out here in a couple of weeks. So just kind of enjoying this as best we can. Anyway.
Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker?
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. I don't think there's anything else for us to investigate in here necessarily. I could look around, but I don't think so. I think it's really funny, by the way. There are signs above each of these written in original Japanese, but they didn't feel like changing the signs, nor did they feel the need to have any additional information for you. And so they just blurred the kanji on these because they figured you didn't need it. It's kind of wild. Hello, Chronix. Hope you're doing well. It's a little lazy of them, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it.
That's the door we just came in through.
Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out.
Wonder what would happen if our Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside.
Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Bad words like there's censor bars. They can't say that in a kid's game. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, I don't think we have anything here for, to further ask of, good old Gumshoe. Those are a lot. I know, it did look like a morgue. He was making a joke about it earlier, but it does actually look like a morgue. Surely Edgeworth's back by now. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday.
And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here.
I'm sure he's off to doing some important investigations.
Hope that's what he's doing. Huh? Guess we'll have to come back. Aw, man. Ah, dip. I do like that they wrote Emma her very own theme song, even though it's just for one case. It's kind of fun. Sorry, just taking a sip of tea. Been doing a lot of talking the past 2 days. Where are we supposed to go? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Kind of wandering a little bit right now, if I'm being honest. I'm not gonna read the stuff that is the generic thing. I just got a bunch of new evidence. Oh, you're absolutely right. We're supposed to use the spray, and I completely forgot. Hold on, we're going back. You're absolutely correct, and I got lost in the sauce. Hold on. To the guard station, and then to the evidence room, and then to the present. Excuse me. No, I don't want to present it to you. I want to present it to the case in general. I don't think this actually works. I think I need to do something else, but I just don't know what. Hey, allow me to... Hey, we're not talking to you, Gumshoe. We already examined once, and then it just didn't do it.
Blood? What if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
She used her testing fluid to check it out. How? How? Options just brings us to game options. Oh, literally a separate button for spray. Interesting. I'm gonna use up all the luminol you had, girl. There'll be none left for you, girl. I know you saved up all your allowance for this, girl. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Hey. Pale blue blood. I was gonna make the same joke, man. I was gonna be like, I think an alien died here. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien! Thanks, Gumshoe. Thanks.
This proves that I will be fine getting into the law enforcement. Something really happened in front of this locker.
I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
I knew it! This is someone's right handprint.
What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker. It's mine.
It's yours?
Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. They're all corrupt, every last one of them.
What? But you're a detective.
Poor Gumshoe. Scanning. Oh!
Oh, why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something insignificant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. Man, if only the police could use something like that. It's like, come on!
What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Hey, chief! Where do you get this, Emma?
I was by it by mail order.
Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something else you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give him my report for the day. Is that your report or your dinner plans tonight, Gumshoe? What's going on there? It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Off we go! Howdy, Marshal. Just on our way out to somewhere else. Yeah, I do not like the pathing from place to place. If you're wondering why it takes me like 6 tries to eventually get to his office, it's because they will not give it to you. And you don't have a full list of the whole menu. It is of the different places you can go. You have to kind of have it in your mental model where everything's connected. Using a guide when you play this, sure. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. You? Oh, guests, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. What? Is Edgeworth here?
There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe is looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
Inquiry Committee. So, how did the Inquiry Committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes. Apparently, there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Tomorrow's trial. That is absolutely right, Sticks. That is a flyer alluding to the place in the third game. Because, again, this case was made after the original trilogy was made. So they can reference everything that, or all that they want from the other games. As long as it was from the original trilogy, though. Obviously, Apollo Justice did not exist yet. And thank you for the follow, by the way. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
Something happened?
I gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
Hello, that Wolftharian. How you doing? The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've only done what I believe is right. I've nothing to be ashamed of. But still.
Well, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Let's ask him about this giant pile of evidence I have.
Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea?
I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright! Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on anyway? Maybe I just show him my best evidence I can get some reaction out of him. Like his knife! Ha 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 ha! No. It's his knife. Big fan from Half Mal? Well, thank you. Yeah, I do enjoy playing Pierce quite a bit. Thank you. Goodman's note. Let's get some SL9 info. No? None? Oh, wait. No. He is doing it. Sorry. It all has to do with that case you were on. The SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Really funny? No, that's not funny. I mean, that's not rude. I would assume, I would hope that's a compliment. It's so funny how much of an idiot you are. Be like, all right. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Anything else I want to show him before we continue? Nope, doesn't want to talk about that one. Evidence locker. No, just kidding. Ha! Fine, I'll just ask him about SL9. Fine. Allegations of forgery. Welcome back, Xanax. How you doing?
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago, too, then.
He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth. What I want to know is why a Deputy Chief of Police was on the investigation.
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't?
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully.
Interesting. Can we talk about Damon Gant? I didn't mean to hit E. That just randomly presented a random piece of evidence that I did not care.
No. There's no, we can't like show off profiles, unfortunately. The ID card record, though, I'd be curious about. Oh, right. I'd better check this now. Has some form of OCD, I'm sure. I'm so sure. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true.
But why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that ramped up a half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. Better make a note of it. Screwdriver, evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's, brought back to his office by Gant's request. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you're still studying forensic science.
Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints!
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks! How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Fingerprinting set and fingerprint file received. Yes!
Oh, well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. 2 of them, in fact. Please do not attempt to eat these as powdered donuts, friends. Thank you. It's aluminum powder. Do not just start eating fragmented powderized aluminum. Just to be clear. It's just generally not a good idea. Let's look at all the evidence that we found. Because I haven't been looking at any of it. Looks like it is just a flathead screwdriver, though. Sometimes a screwdriver is just a screwdriver. The tag says AI-16.
What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth said.
Makes it seem all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case.
Wouldn't that be nice? Unstable jar, sure. We haven't investigated the blood on here, at least.
Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there's some dark red stains here.
Looks like blood.
Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed?
Not likely. His blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Hey, you know what's going on in this clue? I don't know how much you've seen Pokemax. I have no idea what you don't know or don't know. Enlighten me. The tag says SL911. I guess it's another piece of evidence from that case.
You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing.
Huh? What's so confusing about that?
Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag.
Zag? Is that a word?
Do you challenge me?
What are we playing, a word game now? Anything fun going on with this glove that I missed? Doesn't really look like it. It kind of just looks like a glove. Wow, we could just look at a wall. Okay, so we have marked now a couple different places where there's blood, so that's fun. Oh, good. So we've been writing down the names of people as we've been going along here. So we know that of the 5 numbers that are, one person came in twice, it looks like. Whoever 498 9596 is, came in at 514 and 450. 777 7777 though is what's going on with that. I don't necessarily know. Well, we're going off anyway. You don't think fingerprints are 100% reliable nowadays? What do you mean? Given enough time, you actually can identify someone uniquely through their fingerprints. Actually, be curious if we get Officer Meekins' number if I show him this. He has no idea. Never mind. I thought it'd be worth checking, but I guess not. Advice that I could use: see stuff in that locker room be used to look at some evidence through it? No, not unless they quote-unquote suspect that there's blood on it, aka they know that there's blood on it because the game told them to. Police department, move. Guard station, move. There's only a couple of different shapes. There's like 6 basic types of fingerprints, but the various tiny little ridges are still relatively unique to each individual. You could really narrow it down to just 1 or 2 people, but it takes a lot more time than just like a quick dusting and then like, yes, a quick match, and there they are. I know the cowboy is gone. He isn't hanging out. Where did he go? Thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. To the evidence room. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint.
Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed.
Right. Let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger.
I mean, these are all partial prints here, and the thumb only gets a side print. So you absolutely should go for this one right here. This is definitely the cleanest one right here.
Okay, now it's time to check for prints.
Because if you put your hand on something, right? Take a look. Your four fingers here do press upon it, right? But your thumb is naturally angled sideways. Unless you do this, you're not really going to get a good thumbprint.
Let me show you how it's done.
Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that?
With enter.
Again, in the DS, it was you tap, 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 tap. And then you blew into the microphone on the DS to get rid of the excess powder. Ah, looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess.
Huh? How do I do that?
With E. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See?
Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to, though.
It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
Guess I better give it a try. Dust, 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 dust. I remember playing this case for the first time on the DS, and I actually added enough powder to the point where there was no screen, there was no blue left on the screen. It was just pure white. You can eventually get there. They will let you keep adding more and more on there. But I'm just going to go ahead and blow it away.
Ah, you did it! You found one!
But this looks nothing like a fingerprint.
Now you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here.
Hey, calm down. It's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints?
Other prints?
Looking at the locker again closely.
Yeah, I noticed before there's a smudge.
Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's even get a clean print.
Fingerprints outside the blood. This buddy right here. Brush is more ethical to wipe away the powder. Yeah, blowing it away is probably not the best. Well, no, on the other side, though, if you brush it away, think about this. The problem with brushing it away is that you could damage the fingerprint in the process. The whole idea of lightly powdering the fingerprint is trying to get the dust to adhere to it without losing it. Ta-da-da! No, I don't want more. Really? Apparently I'm not done yet. Hold on. It's a pretty obvious whorl pattern thumbprint. There we go. I actually used to teach a forensic science class at the museum, which included kids learning how to identify fingerprints. It's pretty fun.
Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling.
Dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away.
So we're not done yet. This is quite a process.
Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right.
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints.
Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was?
I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That must means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker?
Most likely it would be Gumshoe. And would you believe there it is? Comparing. Ta-da!
Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe.
Gumshoe's the murderer?
Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. By the way, something I ran into recently that I thought was very interesting. I don't know about you, but when I see games like this, typically you see kind of two types of text that the main character puts out, right? The white text that indicates he's actively speaking to the rest of the crowd or to the people in the room. And then the blue text in our minds is supposed to be in his brain, right? Apparently, but it's weird because sometimes it seems like everyone else can read what he's thinking, right? As it turns out, apparently this is a localization thing that is a tough bridge to make between English and Japanese as it relates to how people communicate emotions and thoughts on a matter. What was it? English is apparently what's called a low context language, which means that if you get a sentence in English describing a situation, you need the text in order to know what's going on, right? Like, obviously, body language and stuff like that's also important, but it is not as important as the language itself, right? There are still obviously other feelings and nuances to that, but Japanese, when spoken, is a high context language, where a lot of work is done through the body language and things like that. And so, in addition to being kind of your thoughts and I suppose mumblings in a certain way, it is really supposed to be kind of this stand-in for additional context that otherwise English can't handle, which is very interesting. Anyway, continuing on. That was in one of my audiobooks that I was reading. I do recommend, by the way. We're at currently, what are we at? Did we hit 10K yet? Did we hit $10,000 yet? Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah. Friends, the audiobooks that I'm recording for Geek Therapeutics have 15 days left to go on their Kickstarter. Currently, they're at $10,000. And if they get to $13,500, yours truly, most likely, will be reading The Psychology of Bluey for them, which I'm so excited about the prospect of. Please, please let me do it. Please. Anyway, I would be so fascinated to learn more about the psychology of Bluey. I think that'd be such a cool thing. I want to learn more about this spot.
There was a handprint here. Okay, want to try using this?
There goes her eyes sparkling again. Check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints.
That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right?
We only ended up finding it using chemical means.
Any prints in the area will have been wiped away too.
Oh, right. So that means no prints.
Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high?
Don't ask me.
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Well, looks like maybe there's probably a thumb. No, hold on. Let's play out. There should be one finger here that is conspicuously missing. No? I'm going to play that. Or I guess we're going for this finger. That's fine. Ta-da! I found one! Just gotta spread out a little bit more here. Aha! Okay, now we gotta find a match for this. It doesn't look like Damon Gant is a match. Not Meekins. Oh, but Jake Marshall looks like a match right there. Take a look. I think those two match pretty well. Was blowing on a DS a good game mechanic? Kinda. It was pretty cool. I appreciated that they tried. Compare. 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 Match found. Hey, these fingerprints,
Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know?
it's Officer Marshall.
Huh? Officer Jake Marshall?
Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record.
That's gotta be coincidence. He's not involved in the crime.
Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints.
Huh?
The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place.
Oh.
So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. What?
But why would Officer Marshall?
It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results.
Huh?
I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence.
I don't believe it.
To be continued. Aw, yeah. Save your progress up to this point. Let's see here. Pierce, is that you? I'm the guy who plays Pierce. Yeah, that is correct. Hello, how you doing? And I see you're putting out a lot of random emotes there, Brazil said. Hello. Hi. I wanted to address you once you said words. Hello, B the Therian. How you doing? All right, here we go. You just wait for there is no Pierce, only shadow. Yep, happens every time. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
So what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time.
And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright.
Why are you surprised she's here? This is her. She's on trial for murder. It'd be weird if she wasn't. Yeah, because you'll be watching my videos. Well, thank you. Yeah, my own YouTube channel at Edition F now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because we got like what? 240,000 subscribers on there, which is nice. You know, it's not 21 million, but yeah, it's not too my own horn or nothing, but we're getting close to 250,000. Feels pretty good.
I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But, Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall.
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
The investigations game is in a month. Yeah, it is correct. Ever be a pro noob versus pro video? I mean, I'm not sure if I'll do another noob versus pro video. So, no. It's not that I didn't enjoy them. It's just that I was bankrupting myself making those videos. Because I was not editing them myself. I don't have that kind of time. So I was paying somebody else to do it. But I was paying double the amount of money to make the videos for the amount of money that I was making off of them. And eventually, I ran out of money. Eventually, I'd like to maybe get back into making videos for that, but not yet. February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is...
I'm afraid you'll have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time.
But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I'll present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Rabble, rabble, rabble. Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Oh boy. A whole night of Meekins. So fun. Investigations are the answer. ¿Por qué no los dos? Got the tea ready. Certainly. Yeah, no, we'll probably do both Leolite. If I had to guess. We can do them side by side. Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir! I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir!
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir! It was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'd never kill anyone again, sir! You gotta believe me, sir!
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is...
Sir! I'm what you'd call part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend!
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Help me, sir!
Officer Meekins,
Yes, sir!
give us your report on the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir! As you wish! After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir!
Hey, Nisco, how you doing?
You can't fault him for lack of enthusiasm.
Why is he a witness? Because he was in the... He got cut. That's why his hand is all bandaged up. He was at the scene of the first murder, in theory. Crime report, sir.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man in the security room and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. And after that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you.
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. Why does he have a loudspeaker? Who knows? I think the implication is maybe he's like a traffic cop most of the time. You follow me on YouTube? Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is where I hang out most of my days because I like hanging out on Twitch. I occasionally make some YouTube's videos, but live streaming is my favorite. And I started on Twitch, so that's where I be. Anyway. Crime report, sir. Okay, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I'm curious as to why. I will not, Aiden, but thank you for asking. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. Oh, okay, there it is.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
Oof.
I see. Sounds very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Yeah, no, I appreciate the follows, but if you are just following me in hopes that I will follow you back, I'm not that hungry for follows. Thank you, though.
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and I rushed into the room.
And congratulations, Raven. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? I literally just said it, Aiden. Maybe the delay is getting me here, but what?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck, sir.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? You're probably 4989596, yeah?
There it is! I found it! This one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir! It's 4989596! That's my number, sir!
I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir! The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it's during that second time when...
Yes, sir! That was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
Data added to the ID card record. So we got all of the numbers on there, except we do not yet have whoever 7777777 is. Train all is to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I'm just going to gather as much info out of Meekins as I can. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir! A knife! No!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person you'd want to run into. Dang.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. It's the Meekins family way of fighting, sir. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
If I'm over my life, then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I don't know why that one really got me.
I disarmed and killed him like a man, with my eyes closed and crying the whole time so I wouldn't see or hear any of the blood.
I see. Must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew,
Yes?
he punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out.
You like my Meekins voice? Strangely, doesn't hurt to do as much as you'd think. I think it's because I'm like, I get to kind of play right on the edge of my falsetto on it, and it's okay. It's all right. About what time did you regain consciousness? Because really, the danger of playing around in that space is trying to not crack your voice. If you intentionally try to crack your voice, you're just kind of letting your voice do what it wants. I'm sure I will regret it later. About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how was I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too, after I stabbed and everything. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
It's got that energy of like, I ain't reading that all, bro. But sorry to hear that. Or good luck.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Can females get voice cracks too? Absolutely. Everybody's voice changes a bit over like puberty and stuff, and yeah, you're kind of testing new waters as you go.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gate delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief delivered it?
What is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased.
That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication in the police department is as good as ever. I would say absolutely we should watch that videotape, Pokemax.
Well, then let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Wowzers. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
Oh, it's hideous. It's horrible. Avert your eyes. Ugh.
Should put up a content warning.
Oh,
oh, he got cut. And then he goes for the neck and he gets thrown. And he's like, hey. I don't know. It kind of looks like Meekins was the guy who's about to get stabbed, right? Boo, boo. And there's a passed out Meekins. Everyone's like, come on. I never noticed occasionally he gets the frame between his eyes wide open and blinking. Like he's trying to stare directly into the lights and it's starting to hurt his eyes and he's like
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir! That is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir! Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Security video added to the core record.
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity did take place.
Your Honor, instead of relying clearly on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Miss Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! Mystery Man. What a middling superhero movie from the 90s. 2000s? Early 2000s? Extremely early 2000s? Said William H. Macy was the shoveler. And that was one of the best superheroes ever made. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. Well, there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. I can turn invisible, but only myself and only when no one's looking. Was that like Kel from Keenan and Kel? Yeah, who had the superpower of being able to turn invisible, but only when nobody is looking at him. Mystery Man. Let's just press every bit. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people and talking with them, you see. Yeah, I kind of figured. Same, unfortunately. If we ever meet in person, I don't look you in the eye. It's not because I don't like you. It's because I'm socially awkward and have a hard time looking people directly in the eye. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it.
There's no question that person was Detective Goodman, sir. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might be saying that. That is, if you must label as people having seen or not seen it.
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Huh. Well, why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or...
Meekins.
Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him.
I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I tried all kinds of methods in the past. You only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
Wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. And this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know? Thank you to follow.
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
You know, I remember Meekins as being extraordinarily annoying, and that's still correct, but he's kind of growing on me just a little bit, honestly. I'm starting to become Team Meekins. I'm a Meekins man. What can I say? I'm a Meek freak. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
Like a jingle that crawls into your brain, exactly. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir!
The George, you know what? He is a George Costanza. He absolutely is. Costanza.
Sir! If I may say something, sir!
Please do. After all, you're the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security photo? Or the video?
Let's take a little bit of a look-see, eh?
Let's watch it again. Keep your eyes really peeled. Oh, right there! Right there! Did anybody see it? Did anybody see it? You don't even need to see anything else in that video. I'll play at the beginning once again. Right. I can't control the video. But right there. There's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out?
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I'll now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it so many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man Right here.
The Blue Badger all along! No, that's not right.
It's this right here. This spot right here is the problem right there, ain't it? There's a green light and no light when the lockers are closed. But as soon as the locker is open, a light comes on. So, if this locker was already open when this man came in, it didn't necessarily have to be opened by him, innit?
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you mean me, sir? Am I the strange thing in the video? Because I understand.
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match...
Oh, look! It's Cannon! Either that or he's a stalker!
Gumshoe's got a picture of Maggie Bird in his locker. Do you see that? You guys don't know her yet. She comes up next case. The locker turns on and the light turns on and the locker is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
Mother called me strange, sir. It's about right. I do not know why they chose this song for this part. Like, we wrote this song for this case. You're gonna hear it. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. What I hate about the Blue Badger in this is it's very accurate in how much it like wobbles and like gets stuck sometimes on the motors. I do not appreciate how much effort they put into it. It's bad. I don't like it. I don't want it. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Can you rewind a little faster, man? Maybe? Just maybe? Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit. This case is so lit. So that's what the kids say, right?
Precisely my point, Your Honor, and apt reference. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah!
Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
This case has W-Riz. No cap, am I right? My great-grandson taught me that.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
It's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh, well. This goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. Sorry.
I'll go forward easily, sure.
So then, Mr. Wright, you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes, why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, I drew a pony. Maybe something like he jammed the system sensor?
Something jammed the sensor, say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more.
There was another spot that I that definitely could line up here for this next bit.
Let's move a little faster, huh?
Specifically, we need to focus on when this man entered the room and started opening up the locker. There's something that happens in particular here to take a look at. Pow! You see that right there? You see what's going on right there? I'll get you all beat. Ha ha! I've been following this account so long, it's a null point error. A severed hand? Oh, God! Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Stuck with the clown music and Crypt Master, yeah. Weird, they shut it off now. Wonder if we glitched it out in some way.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my cart.
We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
And inserted?
It's just off. They just don't turn it on anymore. What happened? The elf cookers have sayings on the back of them. Yeah. Yeah. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. I've never arrested a person in my life. Instead of the door closing, it's...
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would have to block the electrical currents. Need to be an insulator. Wow, what thing in our court record would be simultaneously rubber, an insulator, and extraordinarily thin?
Yes, an insulator, but the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, don't you mean...
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
It was this glove. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that it was the victim's locker.
Hey, Scalene, how you doing?
It was a severed hand.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, kill that person.
Order. 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 So we believe then that the victim, whom the witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Thank you. Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video is indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well. Begin your testimony.
All right, friends, I'm actually going to take a moment here to go pee, get some, I was just going to say myself, Xanax, I'm about to go stand up, stretch, get some water, reload tea, and get into at least another hour of the stream here, if I can help it. I want to get, if we could knock out the former part of this trial here, I'd feel a lot better about setting ourselves up properly to finish this on time. So yeah, get set up for the rest of the evening, all right?